After the most recent Bitcoin surge, we're right now once again running in towards resistance. But on today's update video, I want to be talking about the most important levels of support laying below us right now and on how this trend could be right now flipping bullish. So on today's update video, I'm going to be discussing the most important levels and many other important charts that are telling us something about what first of all is happening with the spot Bitcoin ETF, and more importantly, what is currently happening with the funding rates. And historically speaking, guys, this has been an extremely bullish thing for Bitcoin. So without any further ado, don't forget to once again watch this video till the end, slap that like button back above 1,000 likes will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content. So currently what we can see on the Bitcoin price action is that, of course, first of all, we created a massive downward sloping trend here, together with lower lows on the lower side and lower highs on the top side. And ever since we created the bottom around 52,000 US dollars, we surged up towards the upside. We created some higher lows on the lower side, but more importantly, we've taken out that previous high in the market and right now have been confirming a higher high. So right now on the 1 hour time frame, I would definitely start to say that we're right now starting to flip the downtrend. However, I do want to be zooming out a little bit more here and first of all, of course, discuss this very important downward sloping trend line here on the 1 hour time frame where we saw multiple rejections from in the past, and actually this is the exact level where Bitcoin is currently bouncing from. And if we manage to hold on towards this level, it is going to be a great development for Bitcoin and things will be actually looking quite bright for Bitcoin at that point. However, if we do break below it, I'm not all too worried about it because ultimately, in my opinion, since this is the most important level in this consolidation phase, in my opinion, because this has been the previous range low in the market, if we come down towards this level and we see a bounce from off this level right here, we are creating a perfect higher low and we're bouncing from a very critical level as well here. So for me, I am not going to be all too worried until Bitcoin breaks below that white line right here. If we break below that white line, then I am definitely going to be worried on Bitcoin. But as long as that is not happening, I do not see any reason to be panicking right now on this market. So also here on the 12-hour time frame, you can clearly see this is basically exactly the same level that I mentioned on the 4-hourly chart, is that this red box right here is previous big support, also big support right here. If we then break below this level again here, that is the point where we're going to be breaking the structure. And that will be a point where I will be saying, okay, now we're confirming the breakdown again here. And then I would definitely start to call for levels around 49,000 US dollars up to 51,000 US dollars. So in case we break below that level, I think we're going to be heading a little bit lower. Here also on the 4-hourly time frame, we can see that actually we got rejected from one of the most important levels of support, since previously around this is exactly the level which provided a lot of support for Bitcoin. Like you can see, I'm currently drawing many occasions where Bitcoin got rejected from this level and where it found support from. So this is actually going to be quite an important level for Bitcoin to be breaking above of. And as soon as we do break above this level, that is going to be also the confirmation we're going to be seeing an even bigger trend reversal towards the upside. So we've right now been retesting the previous high in the market. We officially have not flipped it yet here. So I am not necessarily saying we are bullish right now here until we are, of course, flipping above that white box right here. So we're right now really in some neutral territory in the market. It's very hard to predict if we are going to be having that big breakout or breakdown. But of course, a thing like I said earlier in the video, what we know for certain is that I will be expecting a big breakdown is going to be happening if we break below the red box here, or if we break below this white support line. If that is happening, we're going to be seeing probably another crash towards the downside towards this box here, which is like a 9 to 10% dump here. So that is the thing I can predict. And if we then break above this white box here on the top side, we're most likely going to be at least seeing a surge towards the range high, which is also a 10% surge towards the upside. So while we're currently in no man's land, I do think that whenever we're breaking outside of the region, we're going to get a 10% plus move here, and that is where we're going to be making our educated guesses from. So yeah, right now we just have to wait a little bit to see how Bitcoin is playing out here. But just like I said in many videos before, we're bouncing from the downward sloping support line right here. And if you're then looking to the range low in the market, which is this green line right here, which previously provided big support for Bitcoin right here, also right here, and currently is actually getting retested again here. So this could also very well provide some very good support for Bitcoin. So also looking closely towards this level, and at the same time, of course, discussed this chart many times before. We're creating a massive bull flag right here on the bigger perspective, and we're currently exactly bouncing from the lower side of this range back towards the upside again here. And yesterday we saw over 170 million US dollars of inflows on the spot Bitcoin ETF here. We're still seeing extreme fear in the market, which is overly speaking quite a bullish thing for the market. Because if we're going to be looking at all the previous times once Bitcoin was such a fear, we basically saw it was a very good buying opportunity. And if I'm going to scroll down to these other tweets I have all done, guys, basically every single time once the market is in such a fear state as it currently is sitting in, it is actually a very good buying opportunity. And coming back also to the funding rates, currently the funding rates are overly negative on Bitcoin and across many altcoins. And if we're going to be looking at the charts that are telling us something about the funding rates, what the funding rate correlation is according to the price, if they are high or if they are low, you can basically see here, whenever they are blue, they are basically negative. Currently, they are in such a negative state here, and it happened only for a few times in the last 365 days here. And it was in October last year, it was in May earlier this year, and every single time once we saw this, we saw a significant increasement in valuation afterwards. And whenever the funding rates are spiking high here, just like it did in January 2024, the price goes down here. And just like it did over here in March 2024, the price goes down. But once the funding rates go negative again, we tend to see another squeeze towards the upside. Because basically what this is telling us is that the market sentiment is overall bearish and people are shorting every single bump towards the upside. And that is basically fueling Bitcoin to go higher. And currently we're seeing the exact same here. So history is exactly playing out here, and you're stupid to not take this seriously, in my opinion. You are very, very stupid if you do not take this signal seriously right now here. The funding rates are going negative, and we're sitting around $50,000 guys. These are no jokes here, and Bitcoin indeed is coming down ever so slightly right now here, but just like you can see here, you have to sometimes see it on the bigger perspective. But basically what we should think about here, the market is in fear, the overall sentiment is bearish, and that is why we're going to be seeing a lot of short orders getting opened as Bitcoin is going to be increasing as well as in value, and that is what ultimately is going to be pushing Bitcoin higher. And this is what always happens. So guys, if you want to be opening up any trades, don't forget to go to the link description of today's video, because if you right now want to be trading, if you want to be opening up trades on altcoins, or if you want to be accumulating on spot, whatever, guys, don't forget to go to the link description of today's video, because if you press on this link right here, you will come to this page where you can actually currently claim a free $500 airdrop position on Bybit. So if you're interested in that, make sure to check it out in the link description of today's video. It's only valid for another 7 days here. So if you want to be claiming a free trade on Bybit, make sure to go to the link description of today's video. But anyways, talking about Bitcoin, we're still creating lower lows together with lower highs, and ultimately for the big breakout to be happening, we need to be breaking this downward sloping trend, right? We need to be breaking this downward sloping structure where we're creating lower highs and lower lows, and for that to be flipping, we need to break above the previous high, and whenever that happens is the confirmation the next big rally is going to get started. So I already talked about this fractal in many videos before, but currently also, like many people also know here, we are creating a massive head and shoulders pattern. And yeah, this pattern is actually looking quite nice here. And to be very honest, guys, this is the largest Bitcoin pattern we have ever seen in history of Bitcoin. So currently we're in the right shoulder, and the moment where we're going to be breaking above the neckline is the point where we are going to be seeing that next big breakout taking place here. So things are still looking very healthy in my opinion. And yeah, we just are waiting to see whenever Bitcoin is going to be breaking above the 70K region, because that is going to be the confirmation of the break towards the upside. Then also in 7 days, we're going to get the first interest rate cuts here. And to be honest, very historically speaking, interest rates cuts are very good for the market, because whenever interest rates are getting cut, it basically means the monetary policy is loosening, and that is overly very good for the market, because as more money is going to be entering the markets, the higher Bitcoin is eventually going to be going as well here. And looking at poly markets, the US elections is of course going to be very important. Yesterday, we actually saw Trump drop by 3%, Harris increase by 3%. So there's a lot of things happening over there. Everything can still go both directions, but of course, like we do know here, is that historically speaking, whenever the US election is hitting the market, guys, we tend to be seeing significant gains in value for Bitcoin. So overall, it's a good thing here. Maybe it's because of Q4 that is historically speaking always a very good period for Bitcoin. But anyways, we're going to be watching this data very closely. But guys, this is it from me in today's update video. If you learned anything from this video, don't forget to slap that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.